So now I'm going to click on apps. I'm going to type in subscription. You should see it pop up right there, Shopify Subscriptions. I'm going to click on that. There's a free plan available. We can click on install. You want to make sure, let me go back to that page. I don't want to show it too briefly. Shopify subscription, this is made by Shopify. The developer is Shopify, as you can see down there. You're able to use it directly in here, and I'll show you exactly how to set this all up. So in this other tab, by the way, there are other apps out there that do something similar. I just chose to go with the one made by Shopify, for compatibility reasons. Like their own team should be upkeeping this with any future updates. So there's 5 steps they give us right here. The first one is to create your first plan for subscription. So let's create the plan, and this one we can call it. Call it subscribe and save. That sounds fine. Internal description, we could have, let's call this the monthly 10% plan. And the product, we can browse our products, and we want to choose this one right here. If you have multiple products, you can have, different contracts set up. So I'm just doing this one product right now with this subscription. We're going to offer a discount as well. A lot of times people do like to see that incentive to actually go and do the subscription. I know I do this all the time with like protein powder and all kinds of things like that. So the discount of, let's just say every 1 month. So we're going to do it every 1 month. They get 10% off. So if you subscribe monthly, you save 10%. And I think a lot of people are very, very willing to do that. But we can also add another option here. So maybe you want to have it every, let's say every 2 months, every 3 months, or 2 or 3 months. And we could say they save like 5% if they want to do that. So maybe they're not taking this every single day. So let's move it down to 2. Maybe they're taking like every other day, for example, or they just don't think they would use it enough. You could, replenish it every 2 months, but it's going to be a little bit less of a savings for them. So this is very simple. Just to set this up, I can say save. And that should bring us back to our Shopify subscriptions. And a little tip right here, you see this little thumbtack, this little pin icon. I recommend clicking on that so that in the future it's easier to find this app. For some reason, Shopify doesn't always pin all the apps right there. So a lot of times will have to go into the apps right here and search for your app unless you pin it onto your bar on the side. So I always like to do that. It's just easier to find them. And something as important as subscriptions on a store like this, you're probably going to be visiting this a lot. So let's click on the subscriptions icon again. Step 1 is complete there. Step 2, import existing contracts. We don't have any contracts, so I'm going to skip that one. Step 3, add subscriptions to product pages. It looks like it just did that right there. We can add the subscription widget, and as you'll see in here, it'll show up on the bottom. So it just showed up automatically on the bottom. We've got the product right here. We've got the price. We've got quantity, add to cart, and buy now. But subscription, I would like to be somewhere up there. So on the left side, if you expand the product information, you'll see subscription widget. We can click on the little 6-dot array and drag that puppy right up here under price. And there we go. So now people can see, they're able to, they see the product, they're able to see the price. And then right here, before they even add it to their cart, do they want a one-time purchase, or do they want to save 10% or 5% by doing those auto renews there? So I'm going to save that. I think that looks pretty good. And I can close out of this tab, going back to where we were in the panel for subscriptions. Now below that, we can allow customers to manage their subscriptions. This is going to have people essentially sign up for an account with you. So they're going to make a username and a password. This is easy to do on your website, and it's something that I find very helpful for people to, if they know they bought from you and they want to buy again, they have their account, they can go back in there and they can see what they ordered in the past. Similarly, if they want to know, is something returnable, is something not, it's just easier for customers to have an account. I personally like making accounts with a lot of things. Like I said, maybe protein powder, some supplement, something like that. So let's turn on subscription management. It'll bring us into our Shopify settings and allow us to set up those subscriptions. On the left side, you'll see subscription management. I can click on plus. I can add that to accounts. And you can actually add it to your menu as well. You'll see this little item right here. We can say add to menu. So I'm going to wait for this to be done loading, and then I'm going to click add to menu. I think it's very beneficial. So when somebody goes to your website, they log in on the top right, then they're able to click on subscription management and make sure they can pause or cancel their subscription if they actually need to. So I'll say add to menu. I should say save. There we go. And then on the top, we can say subscription management, or say manage my subscriptions, save, and that will be listed on the top. So Shopify kind of makes all this very easy. There's ways to get into this from the back end in your settings. It's not particularly hard, but I really like how they just make it extremely accessible and easy for you to actually set that up here. So now in a different browser, I'm going to visit the website right now. Click on the little icon, the account on the top right. I'm going to create an account. Let's actually, and right now we have no orders. So this is when you sign in. You see, it brings you to this page right here. Any past orders will show up here. You can see manage my subscriptions pops up on the top now, so they can go to that. So back to the Shopify dashboard, again, within subscriptions right here, the last thing is going to be customizing notifications. If I click on that, we can edit customer notifications. And within the notifications, if we scroll down, there are a lot that we can actually work with here. One is going to be subscriptions. You'll see an entire section right here. So we can notify people if they canceled it, if they resumed it, if it expired, if it paused, and if there's any that you want to modify or that you don't like. So maybe we don't want to notify them about an attempt for payment failure or something like that. We could toggle that off. Otherwise, if you want to have it paused, you want to change what you're saying for that, you can click on that and you can very easily edit what this is saying, or you can send a test email to make sure that's actually working properly.